Welcome back to Texas 10. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Steve.
And we're here to tell you more stories about Texas. And today we really want to focus on music. You know, we are traveling all across the state of Texas, going to all 254 counties. And one day we were in Panhandle, Texas. Did you know there is a little town named Panhandle, Texas?
There's a panhandle, and then there's a panhandle.
Yes. And so we were walking down the street, and I stopped. I said, Steve, look at this place. I think it's a music venue. And I looked, and there happened to be a concert that afternoon. And so we went, and
we met Randy Palmer.
And Randy Palmer, if you have watched any of our Texas 10 episodes, I Love This Land, that song you hear, Randy wrote it. So
and sang it.
Yes.
And played on it.
Yes.
And got the other players to play on it.
All of those things.
Right.
So we love Randy, and we want to introduce you to Randy, and we know you're going to love Randy. So let's talk Texas music.
Well, so you said stories. We love to tell stories about Texas. And one of the things that I'm amazed at is how songwriters, singer-songwriters, which is what Randy is, can tell a story. And you listen to Randy's music, and it is very personal, but it's universal at the same time. And so I guess the first question is, Randy, tell us just a little bit about yourself and how Texan you are.
Well, born and raised in Amarillo. Family, my dad was born and raised in Amarillo, and so we come from a long history there. I started playing music when I was just a kid. I mean, like maybe 7, 8 years old.
What was your family musical?
My dad could dance to the news. But my mom, she played piano a little bit and stuff, and she sang all the time. And she had one of those console stereos in the living room.
Yes.
And I would come home from school and I could hear her a block away playing music. And it was usually Ray Charles and Johnny Rivers, Willie Nelson even back then, some of his early work. And that was the environment I lived in. And my brother took a guitar lesson. And so he taught me what he learned. And my mom took the guitar one day and she sat me down in front of that stereo and said, play with this. And I lucked out. I hit something that sounded like it was on the record.
You say you lucked out. I'm going to say that's probably natural talent.
Well, because I was going to say, so oftentimes with really successful or people who really make music their lifelong, really passion, that's a similar story, is they just sat down and they played. And I grew up with music as well, and I took piano lessons and played other instruments, but I can't do it without the music. And so one of my questions for you was, did you learn to read music early, or do you have a great ear and you just were able to play?
I still can't read music. And
you do not read music.
Yeah, I really, staff doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but numbers do. I mean, I maintain music is a lot of math.
Yeah.
And so, but the numbers system that came out of Nashville, that makes sense to me.
That is amazing to me.
So,
I think, honestly, sometimes music educators, I'm going to put you down, but sometimes formal music lessons gets in the way of creativity. And I'm going to say that's why I'm not a singer-songwriter.
but I wished I'd gone in school. I'd taken choir or anything. I never took those things. I just played with my friends.
Were you in the high school band? You went to Amarillo High?
I went to Amarillo High. Went in the band. We were in bands that played around with false IDs.
What was the name of your first band?
Redneck.
Well, you were telling me a story a little bit earlier about how your parents found out that you were in bands. Tell that story.
There were 4 of us in the band and called Redneck, and we were Redneck because our first gig was the Future Farmers of America banquet, and then we needed a name, so we said, "We'll just join." So, but we went to a music store and said, "We want to be a band." And this guy named Billy Stoll in Amarillo, he said, "Great." He goes, "This is some good equipment. Pay me when you can." And we were like 17 when at this time. And so we loaded up this stuff and we got little gigs at bars around Amarillo. And
How old were you?
17.
You're in the bars?
Yeah, 18. Yeah, 17, 18. And the alcohol age limit changed right when I turned 18. So I was the more the older one, so I was legal first in the group. But one night we were playing, and we did this sort of thing like I'm spending the night with Mike, and Mike's spending the night with me, and we're spending the night with Dennis. And this is so we could go out and play till 2 in the morning.
Right.
And so we had all this equipment, and Mike worked at the city of Rifle Range, was his after school job. And so we drove an Amarillo City truck full of this equipment to all these gigs, and so people were writing into the newspaper, why is, a city truck doing and McBean's and Warriors, but we were playing and our parents didn't know about this equipment, didn't know about us playing in these bars. They just knew we liked to play music. And the last night that I remember playing at Guffey's Tavern in Amarillo, in walked all of our parents and sat down on the front row. And we've got amps and all this stuff sitting around with beer cans on everything. We're like, oh no.
So did you finish the set?
Well, after there was a pause. And then we finished the song and we suffered the consequences. They sat there through the entire rest of the set. And they came in about midnight, but they stayed till last call. And so we had to fess up. I mean,
you didn't have to fess up. You were caught.
I was caught.
Yeah.
Were they tipped off, or were they tipped off, or were they just going out for the night?
I think they've been caught. Like it's not that big of a town. My dad would see my friend Mike's dad, downtown, and say, "Hey, how are the boys doing?" And say, "Well, I don't know, but they sure gone a lot." And Mike's been over at your house all the last 3 weekends. And Megan just caught up with us. But it was amazing.
Right. Okay, so that's sort of your start in music, and then just give us a little bit of your musical journey, like sort of how you made your way in terms of making a living, and then how does music work into that?
Well, when I went my freshman year of college at Amarillo College, junior college in Amarillo, and my wife Ann, she came to Baylor. Sick of, yeah. And so
she's very smart.
And so the band played that whole freshman year of college, and then we decided we were gonna all go off and pursue academic stuff. And so I decided to go to Baylor just because I wanted to protect my turf.
Right. Okay.
My girlfriend was here, and so I came to Baylor and had a great time here. Had great roommates and I played off and on and around Waco at that time. There wasn't many places to play, and I played also in Austin some, but it was all solo gigs on that. And so when I got a degree in communications because I wanted to know about the production process, and that was the closest thing that Baylor offered at that point. And so I was in radio, TV, and film. And I think I got a great education, and it's prepared me well for what I've done. Then I went to when I graduated. I went to Nashville, and I took my little 3-inch reel-to-reel tapes around to every publisher who would let me in the door, and showed them my songs, and they all told me to come back later. You're on a good. You're getting there.
You're just not there yet. Well, that's okay. They told Johnny Cash the same thing.
But finally one of them said, I have a position here as a staff writer. Would you like to join our team? And so I worked for the acoustic music there for a couple of years. And it was a song factory where you would go in every day and you would have an assignment to write for, and then have a name on the wall. Back then it was like Crystal Gale, Ronnie Millsap, and those kind of people. And you'd go in there and do your best, and you'd write 10 songs a month to get and collect a $300 check.
So did you get any royalties if they recorded your song? And
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to keep your writer's royalties.
Okay. Why didn't want
and there were very little success for me. I mean, I was learning about.
So that's
writing.
one thing is it's a huge funnel in terms of making hits. There's
Yeah.
a lot of songs at the outset, but
Right.
very few of them come through that
Yeah.
funnel.
Yeah.
So how does that affect you as a songwriter, just sort of your outlook? Like, I'm sure you want the big hit, but when that doesn't happen,
I think a lot of people. I mean, one hit wonders happen all the time.
Right.
That somebody gets lucky and has a hit. But most people work their career and develop the skill to get that one hit.
right.
And that I think I'm on that developing skill side of that. My friend Susan Gibson here, she wrote Wide Open Spaces. Well, she wrote that when she was 18,
Wow.
and so her career has been backwards,
Right.
and so, and when we play together often, and she always reminds me, she goes, "You're doing it the way it's supposed to be done." So I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad you've enjoyed it because it seems like it could be discouraging.
Yeah.
It's the song. It's really not. It's not the acclamation or the music or the monetary success. It's turned out a really good song. That still motivates me.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do. Right.
Well, and so just a real brief break here. I want to say he's written, although they're not huge hits, he's written many, many great songs. And go to randypalmermusic.com to sort of explore that. We're sitting in the One Day Bar here in Waco, and he's going to be performing tonight. You won't see that one.
Yeah. We'll bring him back.
Right.
Yeah.
And he does that sort of stuff. So if he's coming through your town, get to see him. Like the folks in Waco here are going to be able to see him. But I just wanted to put that plug in there.
So
Right.
getting back to kind of your development, we were talking guitars last night. And what was your first guitar? And do you still have her?
No. Well, my first guitar I do have, and it's a little child-size harmony guitar that I repaired and refinished and stuff like that over the years, and it will go to my grandkids as soon as they're old enough not to destroy it. And hopefully, we'll have some more music coming down the pike on here. The guitar that I remember most as quote first real guitar was a Buck Owens red, white, and blue harmony guitar, really gaudy stuff, and it sounded good, and it played okay.
Did you dress like Buck Owens?
No,
Couldn't go that far.
no, I did. Yeah, no, I'm a wannabe hippie, but the Buck Owens kind of held me back on some of that. But it was a good guitar, and my mom's hairdresser. One day, my mom was getting her hair done. They'll be
Oh yes, once a week.
she was getting it done, and she said, "What do you think of that guitar in the corner?" And she asked my mom, and my mom said, "I bet my son would like to see that." Well, I went to see it, and it was a D21 Martin 1965 model, beautiful, my dream guitar. And she said, "Well, my husband is a lousy so-so. He's not making any money with it. So let me, if you've got $375, you can have it." And so my dad was gracious enough to buy back a shotgun he gave me at Christmas. And then I put that with some summer earnings, and I bought that guitar, and I still have that today.
Oh, that is
Well, that's
awesome.
a great guitar.
It's a great guitar.
That is a great guitar.
Later,
That one's not going to the grandkids
No.
anytime soon.
I ended up in the gentleman who owned the guitar that his wife sold it. I ended up in his office in Nashville years later. He was a publisher.
No.
And he let me play a few songs. I opened up the case. He goes, "That's my guitar." And I said, no, this is my guitar. He goes, "No, you don't understand. Nelson and Nizzy's Music and Amarillo sold me that guitar." And he said, "And I want to buy it back." I said, I can't do it.
Right.
And he said, "Well, play me a song." And I played the song, and he said, "Keep working." Keep working.
That is a great story. So what inspires you to write your songs?
I think
Where do you get your inspiration?
I get a lot of it out of the land and the people of the land. I think all music is relational.
Mhm.
I mean, it's all about making a connection with other people, and so I try to write songs that not only say something to me, but they might say something to somebody else too. Uh, and no subject is off. As, there's no limits about that. You can connect with people in all different places, and in laughter and pain, and in sorrow, and in joy, and all. And so I have very few songs that don't have people in them. So I mean, I'm pretty people oriented. But I do have a few songs that are how would I say it, that are thematic in ways that stand out from the others. And I teach a songwriting course, and that's and I'm always trying to get my students to see songs as expressions of what's going on in the rest of life on that.
So we're talking about songs. I'm going to be a little more specific with you because I think there's a great example of that. You wrote a song about a summer building a cabin.
Yes.
Tell us about that song.
1968, my parents decided to build a cabin in the mountains of New Mexico. Best thing that ever happened, I was a 13-year-old boy, and I had this wonderful opportunity to get to know my dad in a whole new way. And we built every single nail we drove it, and every board we cut it, and on that. And and building something when you're 13 is just so fun. So, and I learned this to drive nails, and I mean, it was just great. It was great.
And the name of the song is
Welcome to My Home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a great song.
It is a great song.
And there's another one that's similar to that. It's called Deeper Water. And it's about while we were building the cabin, this retired general contractor would come by and check us out and see how we were doing. But some days he would come and said, "Don't worry about working today, because today I'm going to take you fishing." So the song is all about fishing with M.B. Allen at Eagle Nest Lake in 1968. You know, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And so it happened in 68. When did you write the song?
Probably not till 2000.
Okay.
Or
do you play it for your dad?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and first time I played it for my mom was alive at that point. I played it for them. They both had tears, because that was such a special time for our family.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite song? It's hard.
The last one.
Is it the last one or the next one?
Yeah. Well, until I write the next one, that's the last one.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. I do. I have favorites, and the last one I wrote was a song called "Throwing Rocks at the Sun," talking about how sometimes you do things that you don't see any results.
Familiar with that concept?
Yeah.
I like that. I haven't written about it, but I loved it.
Yeah, and it's timely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So those are some of your songs and sort of your journey. Who do you model yourself after? Is it right? Because you're you, but like, who do you feel like sort of really influenced you?
I'd say very first off was early Martin Murphy, when he was Mike Murphy.
Right.
When he was
still doing Cowboy Christmas. He's still doing Cowboy Christmas.
But there was a place in Red River, New Mexico called the Outpost, and three guys in a group called Three Faces West had just a little listening room. The only thing on the menu was coffee or hot spiced cider, and that they were my heroes, because these guys, one of them went on to be Ray Wiley Hubbard.
Oh no!
And the other two, Wayne Kidd and Rick Fowler, they were these guys. They would let us, as I was like maybe 14, 15, 16 during this time. They would let us hang around after the show, and they'd teach us how to play, and they would talk to us about talking to an audience, and they just schooled us. And I was with a friend of mine named Mike Border, and we just hung over there until they told us to go home.
Right.
And they taught us tons. And Michael Murphy did a lot of the warm-ups at that point for the Three Faces West shows. B.W. Stevenson also.
Oh wow,
appeared
Dallas
there.
guy,
Yeah.
and My Maria is one of my favorite songs. So,
Yeah, I just wrote a song that we stole a little from My Maria.
that-
Yeah,
that's-
and with a friend up in Taos, and because we both love BW,
right.
but Bill and Bonnie Hearn, I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're classics, and Michael Hearn and different groups of those people were a part of that scene. Bob Livingston here from Texas and was all a part of that scene. So I made connections as a teenager with some of these guys who went on to be my heroes. And,
That's super cool.
and a really intimate, a space hardly bigger than this room.
Mm-hmm.
That they held these little listening room sessions, and it was a blessing. I mean, I'm just glad that happened.
Yeah, that's one thing that whenever I've watched music documentaries and things, and they always talk about the relationships and the people in the who gets them started. And I know that you go to the Kerrville Folk Festival every year, and they've got a great singer-songwriter vibe there. And what I love about it is, you can go to hear different people, but then at night you just walk around, and everyone has found little circles, and they're just sitting, singing and writing. And so talk about kind of the relationships that you build and how your singer-songwriter community supports you and how you support them and how y'all work together to create music.
Kerrville is heaven.
Did you hear that, Daryl Lawrence?
Yeah.
Kerrville is heaven.
Yeah. Kerrville Folk Festival has meant so much to me. Being a part of those song circles around there, the new folk song competition, as I've been lucky enough to been involved in that twice. And I get the dividends are huge.
Right.
Sitting around in those little circles, and they're, man, I've met some great players. Some of them have gone on to be important people in the music business, and some of them will never get outside of their house. But I hear, and you'll hear the best and the worst,
Right.
in those circles.
No,
but
because I don't sing in those circles, so you haven't heard the worst.
No, people are all cheering for each other,
Right.
And there's a ton of instruction that goes on during Kerrville, just out during the day. Everybody's over giving each other pointers, and at night you're playing your songs around a circle, and it's happened.
Yeah.
So this is a podcast about Texas. Let's give the folks a little more information about the Kerrville Folk Festival. It runs almost 3 weeks. It runs 18 days. It's on, what's the name of the ranch?
It's on Quiet Valley Ranch, outside of 9 miles west of Kerrville on 16.
Beautiful property.
It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous property. It was pioneered by a guy by the name of Rod Kennedy. And it's been going on for like ever.
Well,
it's 72 was the
I know we went when we were in college.
I was going to say,
right?
we've been out of college for a spell.
And it is, people go and they camp there and do the all-night singer-songwriter circles. You can see legends of folk, take the main stage. They have smaller stages.
Yeah.
And it's like a
kids concerts. They have something for everyone.
right. So it's a little folk Woodstock in Texas, and it is awesome.
And the last 3 or 4 years, we've volunteered there as part of our experience. And part of that is just because we're trying to give back.
Mm-hmm.
But the other side of it is you get to be on the inside of what's going on. And we have really enjoyed getting to know the management, the people that run this festival now. Deb Rout is the director's name, and they're just wonderful.
Well, music, just has this ability to speak to people, and it feeds. I always say music feeds your soul. Yeah. Whether it's, I love gospel music and sacred music. I love folk music. I love the blues. And, I just think it's such a gift to be able to sing and write songs that people can relate to. And I think sometimes, I'm an educator, and sometimes we don't encourage our kids as much to really just explore. And I think sometimes we're just so rigid in wanting to teach them and I love your story of just sitting down and learning how to play. And, you know, I'm always jealous. I always say if I could be something different, I would be Bonnie Raitt.
You've got a guitar sitting in your.
I
your
do. I have a great guitar, and
It is a great guitar. I look at it. I look
you might need to teach me one tonight, but it's almost like you're afraid. And I love, Michael, I told Steve, my goal after talking to you this weekend is to not be afraid and to delve in again, because it does give you such joy, whether you can make it or whether you can just sit and listen to it.
Yeah.
And so I just love your songs and
Well, I'm
love your
convinced
story.
that creativity makes us better in all different kinds of areas, not just the song or anything, but it makes us a better human, makes us a better spouse and husband. Just being creative.
and better house and better spouse. Yes, we get the thumbs up there.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
In fact, you wrote a beautiful song about Anne. I love that song, and it makes me cry.
I used to have what I call the Ann set. And a whole series of love songs for my wife.
Well, that's
And,
well, okay. Now be true here, because a lot of people, young men that get started in music, the common theme is it'll help me get the girls.
oh yeah, and it doesn't hurt at all to have a guitar.
Right.
Well, yeah, and you know, and it's certainly helped me along the way.
Right.
Yes,
You married well above yourself.
I
so.
did.
Okay.
I did.
As did I.
Way
As did
above.
I.
Yeah.
All right.
So I met her when the summer we were building the cabin. Her parents had a cabin about 3/4 of a mile away, and she had her horse up there, and so she was riding by and stuff. And my dad kept saying, "Look at that girl on the horse. She's pretty, you know. You got to go meet her."
Right.
And I was like, "I'm busy. I'm building a house." And,
So I'm gonna forever. Anne is gonna be the girl on the horse. Yeah, yes, that's awesome. It's awesome. So you've written your most recent release is about horses, isn't it?
yeah, there's a single out right now, and it's the first song off of an album that'll be called the same thing, Dance Ponies Dance.
Okay.
And it's out on particularly on Western and alternative country stations across the country. And please call in. It's a great song. It's about a surprise. I was at a Western writers songwriters retreat on a ranch in western New Mexico on Mount Taylor, which is one of the Navajo Holy Mountains there. And on the Elkins Ranch, you get to the gate and they tell you to put it in 4-wheel drive. And then 2 hours later, you arrive where you're going to stay.
That's remote.
It's remote,
Right.
you know, full change showers,
Right.
the whole bit. And so one night there was like 4 cabins scattered across this part of the mountain. And my friend Alan Chapman and I were staying in a different one. And so we were driving back after we finished playing, and it was, 1 or 2 in the morning. We're driving back and with the headlights on, and you could feel something wrong. And so I stopped the car, and right then this herd of wild Mustangs burst out of the forest in front of our truck, framed by the headlights. And it was the most beautiful 45 seconds I've ever spent in my entire life. And Alan and I, and the dust was everywhere, and there was like 20 of them that went across through the trees and away. And we sat there in silence and we looked at each other, and I said, "I'm going to write that song." And he goes,
Did he say, "No, I'm going to write that song"?
he said, "Me too." And so I beat him to the punch.
Right.
So I wrote the song, and that's the single that's out now.
All right. Well, go. You can get it on Spotify, right? If you want to listen to
It's
it.
just it should be up by the time people see it. Here,
Okay.
it'll be up.
Mhm.
And,
And some of your other music you can get on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got
Or
Randy
Spotify.
Palmer's on Mike Levis. So, yeah.
you can get
So-
two albums on Spotify, and the other two albums are not Spotify worthy.
Okay. That's untrue. That is untrue. And Spotify is the one making the mistake, which they have been known to do. Right. So just one more song I want to talk about, because it was the one that originally caught my attention with you, because it's so much about Texas, but sort of old Texas and the Dust Bowl. Tell us a little bit about that one.
That song's called "Blow Dirt Blow."
Mm-hmm.
And it is. I read the book, The Worst Hard Times, but his author's name leaves me right now.
Okay.
But The Worst Hard Times, it ended up being the basis for Rich Burns' or Ken Burns' documentary on the Dust Bowl. And a great book, and it listed all these areas around Amarillo where I grew up that were part of it, and individuals that I knew were grandchildren, and we'd grown up together, and it was a great book. And as soon as I put that down, I wrote that song.
Right.
Well,
and that's what I sort of started with, which is it is so amazing to me because I'm a long form writer, right? I often they say in the Leo community the rule is brief shall be brief, and I can't follow that rule. But the ability to take what in one art form is a long nonfiction book, and another art form is an entire documentary, and to tell that story in 3 minutes is just it's a talent that I would never have the ability.
No, you might have.
No, I wouldn't. Right.
You have a different talent.
Right, but it's just so impressive that you can tell that sort of story with so much impact in that short period of time.
I'm glad you like that song because that's one of my all-time favorite songs to play.
Yes, well, it does.
Be sure to play it tonight.
Well, I'll play it.
It does tell a lot about a different time and place in Texas, but with droughts and whatnot, you never know.
And we're not that far away from it now.
Exactly.
In the Panhandle.
Yeah. So, so shout out to our Panhandle brethren. Hope you don't have to go through that again.
I will tell you, Randy Palmer is a Texas treasure, and music is part of the fiber of Texas. It's who we are as Texans. And there's nothing that I love more than music, and nothing more than I love more than meeting a Texan musician. And so we're thrilled you're here.
Well, Randy, we're looking forward to the concert tonight. I know people that are watching this don't get that, but you should look out and see when he's coming to your town. You should go see Randy Palmer. You should go to randypalmermusic.com, download that stuff, and then put them on your Spotify list.
Look on our website, look for festivals, look for music festivals. They're all over Texas. Yeah. And, we started this journey at the Bob Wills Day in Turkey, Texas. So we started this journey with music, and we're going to continue this journey with music.
Right. So keep joining us. Special shout out to One Day Bar for hosting us today. If you're in Waco, it's at 618 Columbus. Make sure you stop by. It's a great little spot. Often they've got a place for musicians outside. Often you'll get to catch some live music, and you can't beat it. And
follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, all the things.
Right.
And
like, subscribe, share, comment, all that.
Bye.
From Troubadours to the Gulf Coast Plains, from the heart of the hill country to the piney woods shade. Oh, I love this land. Yeah, it takes my breath away. 254, yeah. Yes, and I love this land. Oh, it takes my breath away. From Palo Duro to the Gulf Coast Plains, from the heart of the hill country, the piney wood shade. Oh, I love this land. Yes, it takes my breath away, and I love this land. Yes, it takes my breath away.